Last week, the Taoiseach and I spoke, and we agreed on the crucial need for the parties in Northern Ireland to form a fully functioning executive by the 29th of June deadline, and how we would continue to engage closely on this important issue, and we reaffirmed that today. We've both met the two main parties to make clear that the UK and Ireland would do everything we can to work with them, and the importance of reaching an agreement by the 29th of June. And it's my firm belief that with goodwill on both sides, a resolution can be reached which builds on the progress made in the last round of discussions. And my government remains absolutely committed to a successful outcome from these talks, and we remain steadfast in our support for the Belfast Agreement and its successors. Now, as the United Kingdom embarks on leaving the European Union, I fully respect that Ireland will remain an EU member state, and that's why it's more important than ever that the relationship between our countries continues to go from strength to strength. We're leaving the European Union, but we're not leaving Europe, and we want to remain committed partners and allies of Ireland and all our friends across the continent.
We spoke, of course, about Northern Ireland, about our shared desire that the executive be re-established, that the Assembly be up and running. It is what the people of Northern Ireland voted for. When they voted for the Good Friday Agreement, they voted for devolution, and that should be respected by allowing those institutions to be re-established and be up and running again. And of course, we think it's very important that Northern Ireland should have a unique voice at this very important time when we face into negotiations on Brexit. And I think having an executive up and running, an executive that can speak for both communities in Northern Ireland would be a big advantage for Northern Ireland and also for our two governments. So we committed to working together to assist, engage and encourage the different parties in Northern Ireland to come to an agreement before the deadline of June 29th, and we're confident that can be done and are very seized of our roles as co-guarantors of the Good Friday Agreement and as actors that must be impartial as these talks go on and into the future. And we want to ensure as much as is possible that while there may be a political border between our two countries, that there should not be an economic border, and that any border that does exist should be invisible. And we've committed to work on that and to affirm those common goals and work together to achieve the best outcome possible for all of our people.
On the first question that you raised, we continue our discussions with the DUP. We are talking about a confidence and supply agreement with them, and on reaching such an agreement, we will ensure that the details of that are made public so that people can see exactly what that agreement is based on. We also, as a government, remain absolutely committed to working with all the parties in Northern Ireland. I saw 5 parties here in Downing Street last week to ensure that we see a new executive formed in Northern Ireland, that the devolved institutions are up and running by the end of the month, as we've both committed to do so here. And as a UK government, we remain absolutely steadfast, as I've just said, in our commitment to the Belfast Agreement and to its successor agreements. But as I say, any agreement with the DUP will be made public when it's reached.
Yes, I did, of course, relay those concerns. I was very much reassured by what the Prime Minister had to say, that the agreement, once it's reached, will be published. So it'll be there for everyone to see. And also we spoke about the very important need for both governments to be impartial actors when it comes to Northern Ireland, and also that we are co-guarantors of the Good Friday Agreement, and that any agreement that may exist between the Conservative Party and the DUP should not in any way impact on the Good Friday Agreement or the very special role that the two governments have when it comes to impartiality under the terms of the agreement. And I'm very reassured by what the Prime Minister said to me today that that won't be the case. And I do, of course, accept and appreciate and fully understand that the formation of a government at Westminster is a matter, of course, for the MPs elected at Westminster and not for our government. But I'm very reassured by the meeting today.
As you may know, I don't recognise these terms of hard and soft Brexit. What I think we need to do is to build a new deep and special partnership with the European Union. We want that comprehensive free trade agreement, which enables us to have as seamless and frictionless a border as possible to continue the trade that has been so beneficial to us in the past. And as I've indicated in my remarks, we recognise the importance of the trade between our two countries and the importance and significance of ensuring that that continue in the future. And we remain absolutely committed to, as the Taoiseach says, what we call the common travel area, but what lies behind the common travel area as well, in terms of that ongoing and deep relationship that Ireland and the United Kingdom have had, and that is recognised and seen symbolically in the significant number of family relationships that exist between our two countries.